Hi, everyone. So here's the start of this series. What I would tell you is that when this sort of woke me up in the middle of the night, what I really realized is that I'm listening to a lot of people in my life talk about the state of their relationships. And when we get under a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, we tend to move to a state of blame. And that's not about criticizing anybody or making anybody wrong. It's what we've learned. We want to make things about other people. So when we get into situations where we're having conflict or struggle with people, the general response is, if you could just be different, this would work better for me. I remember feeling like that in my marriage when I was first married. And it's an interesting piece because we look at relationship as though our goal is to change the other person, to make them more comfortable for us. Part of the shift and the understanding in that paradigm is that that's really about blaming people for who they are. And if anybody's ever been in an abusive relationship, what you understand more than anything else is that we're all divine and perfect. We are all uniquely developed and skilled, and that really what we're looking for is to be loved for exactly who we are. So if that's what I want in relationship, that's likely what my partner wants too. So a scenario where we blame each other for being um, triggers for each other doesn't really work. It sets up a whole bunch of conflict. And I think what you'll notice is that in your relationships, there are probably hot spots that you circle through where you can navigate certain topics, but you keep fighting over the same things. And sometimes those topics get so hot that you actually can't, you start avoiding them because you can't ever move through that one particular argument. And it does damage in a relationship because we can't understand what's going on and we can't change it, we can't shift it. And often we end up giving up on those relationships ultimately because they're so painful. We just can't find our way into the intimacy through that conflict. And I wanted to provide some tools that give you a different opportunity. And one of the things that I'm really going to share with you is that this is an experiential process. All of what I teach, regardless of whether it's relationship or spirituality, the idea is that I'm going to give you some tools. I'm going to strap a tool belt on for you. I'm going to hang some hammers and some screwdrivers. And then I want you to go back into your own life. And I actually want you to practice what we've talked about. And then come back and share with me what's worked, what hasn't worked. Where do you need a little bit of tweaking? How can we keep moving forward? But this will be a process that you prove to yourself works or doesn't work. And I've been teaching this unofficially for years. And I will tell you, it works. So, in this time where we have all of this time available, we're literally going to be shut up in our homes with the people that we are in most significant relationship with all winter. What better time to actually sit down and assess the state of our relationships and see if we can't have a more rich, rewarding experience? One of the pieces that I'm going to talk about in the next video, and I'm going to break these into smaller bite-sized bits for you so that you can kind of digest a little bit at a time, or like I said, you can watch them like Netflix, one after another. One of the biggest pieces is getting agreement. So I'm going to talk about that in the next video.